Cheer, Montreal, my city. Let me tell you something, man.
Get the straws, man. They don't make this anymore.
You see what I'm telling you about, Tata? You can't deal with certain guys. You see what this guy's
Oh
brand
my
new?
gosh.
He done traveled the world, did comedy everywhere. He left, he came back, didn't hit me up, he didn't say nothing. We normally have breakfast. Last time before he left, we had dinner. You know what I mean? He's my only black entertainer friend. Shout out to RG. RG linked it up. RG was like, Tata, you gotta make friends with guys on the East. Hey, no, not for me. Not for me.
That's for him.
He didn't even finish the joint, so you know, we're keeping the anniversary festivations going on. I don't know if it's a word, Joe Black. Shout out
You
to Joe
just
Black.
made it one.
Scale XL TV in the building.
Festivations.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much. You've been on a lot of shows. I want to introduce you. You're a comedian, host. I think there's other titles. I guess you're a businessman as well.
Yes.
You know, you've traveled. You've done it all. So you're in the building with us.
Hey.
Mr. Renzo Dashin. How you doing, King?
Hello. Very good. And you?
Missed you.
I'm
We
home.
missed you. Yeah.
You know, you saying that means
Yeah.
something special to me.
I can't. You and all the guests. I ain't gonna start you.
Hey, stop it.
You remember what I said last time, right?
Stop it.
I'm sure you're gonna remind us at some point in the
No,
show.
I
The
can't
thing
because
is that, you know, the good things that every time is always progress. We have great updates, you know what I mean?
Listen.
I see your progress. We know my, you know what I'm saying? Come on now.
we never have enough time.
We're not moving backwards.
We
We're moving
never
forward.
have enough
That's what
time. I'm
counts.
hoping we can finish these conversations at some point. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
But that's the thing with Tata, the conversation never finished. She's doing introspection. She's in the woods. She's always finding new things about herself. I don't know how much self-discovery Sister Knowledge can actually get within
Non-stop
herself.
until I die.
happy birthday to the best show in the city.
Yeah.
You know,
Happy
in the
birthday
country,
to the
in the
best-
country.
in the country.
And-
But you know what? I care more about my city than I do about my country.
No, I hear you. I hear, but they
For
still
real.
they can't run with us in Toronto and Vancouver. I promise you. We got the videos now. I ain't gonna hold you.
Listen.
We got Mr. Politics right now. He's the man fighting the fight, you know, for us black individuals behind the scene. I guess you're the head of the Red Coalition?
Yes, I am.
The head of the Red Coalition.
Founder.
Founder. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Put some respect on that.
No, I'm tired of seeing you on TV. You always on TV. There's that much madness around
There's
black
that much
culture.
madness
Yeah.
here in the city that
But
needs
listen-
to be fixed. So.
But listen, we appreciate you coming on our anniversary special. I know you're a busy guy. There's a lot of cases that are open right now. You're managing. Joel DeBelfort is in the building.
Red Coalition.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I want to start here. I do want to talk about the police and all the things that's going on because there's money happening. A whole bunch of hood guys start calling me and said there's $5,000 going on in the streets. I'm like, Joel did not call me, so I don't know. I don't know who's getting it. But before we get into that, Renzel, you were recently away doing comedy. What was that like? You
It
did
was
you
fantastic.
did the Caribbeans?
Listen, I went to the Caribbeans, I went to France, I was in Europe, I was in Switzerland, I was in Belgium, and then I came home to know that I was going to get $5,000 for every private appointment I got with the Montreal police. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful
yeah,
thing. I got a few appointments in those 2 years, a few appointments.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was out of town. I came back like around July 1st. A Caribbean tour. French Guyana, Martinique, Guadeloupe.
What was
Rooms that
Guadeloupe?
were like
Globetrotter.
about 3,500 people.
That's what you're doing?
Mostly black people. You know, I mean,
He
it's Black
doing
Island.
things.
It's a
He
Black
doing
Island.
things.
Okay, but when you're in Montreal, you know, I know you do the, you know, I think you have a one-man show. You do have shows that you do
I
in
have
French,
my-
right?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. My new show is coming out February next year, Black History Month. It's
Okay.
called Ma présence requiert un ajustement. for those who understand. What was your question again?
No, I was trying to find out because most of your specials are done in French. Now you're doing these Caribbean countries. What was the set like? Like what are the jokes that you pulling out there? And what was the vibe with the people over there?
Super black shit. Super black shit.
And getting
No, but-
away with it.
I mean, I always get away with it. For real, like I do, like especially in English, I do white rooms and I call them racist. I get a laugh out of it. It's, you know, the black stuff I get really nice. But like I'm working on my new show, and my new show has a lot of, like I'm working on the why the Bible says Jesus is black. Hilarious as fuck. Like it's you know, I'm a
Okay.
comedian. It's a little bit of teaching,
Yeah,
a little
I
bit
like
of
it.
ratchet,
What?
Like it.
a lot of funny,
I like
right?
That sounds like a comedy show Tato would love to go
Yeah.
watch.
It's all.
He knows
I
me.
I talk about Haitian porn on my.
Hold on.
So I went.
That's
Hold on, I got
expertise.
hold on, I got
See?
stop. Hold on, I got stop.
a little bit of
Expertise.
substance, a little bit of ratchet.
Haitian
you know what I'm
porn.
saying?
There's a difference. You know, I
There-
stopped the
there.
beat. There's a difference with the porn when it's Haitian.
There are pages on the sites.
Which sides
Pages.
about Haitian porn?
The one with the hub.
The one, the hub? Okay.
The one.
I didn't know. Haitian boy was
either.
a description. That's why I bring Renzello. I didn't know.
either.
RG, you knew this? RG's my content guy. He didn't tell me nothing about
He
this.
can't say nothing on camera.
Too many corporate. I saw Joe somewhere. Joe's in a gray suit. I don't know if he's trying to close a home deal or move some stocks. I don't know what Joe doing. Joe's somewhere out there. Haitian boy.
Yes, no. Just to say that when I was over there, I was doing that kind of comedy. But there is a tradition of comedy, like just guys getting up and doing comedy, and it's different. It's more, it's island vibe. But I do stand-up comedy, pure stand-up comedy,
Right.
just so it happens to be in French. So I go deep, I punch hard, and they loved it. They loved it.
You know, originally when he came on and he did Crew Love, he was telling us about like, I'm going to become a comedian and stuff like that. And 2-3 years
Speaking
later,
it into
he really did.
existence.
RJ always says that. He's like, I remember he was on Crew Love. He said he was going to do it, and he really did it.
No,
Listen,
yeah.
I give it to you guys that are
You
comedians to
need
go
to
up
start
there.
having someone document you, like straight up.
We've already started.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
shout out to Nkosi.
Okay.
Yeah, we already started.
How many projects is Cozy going to do at once? You know what I mean? Like,
He's
Joe
the
Black, a little bit
visionary.
on me, Joe Black, a little bit on
He's
me.
the
You know, I'm gonna
visionary.
I think he's going to pull up at some point. How many projects is Cozy going to do?
He's been filming me for 2.5 years now.
Ooh.
That's okay.
Okay.
RG?
Okay.
That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Like
I mean,
said.
We'll be the
we don't
Who's
have-
brothers.
We have the plan for a documentary, but like I think that was his choice to invest into me, knowing that he believes something's gonna happen, and then just like Kanye at some point, they just put it all together and did something out of it. I think it's the same idea.
Okay, well, listen, we'll look forward to that. Now, Joel, you've been doing everything. There's a lot of dismay. I don't know how much money we're going to give to the police. Last time I checked, we gave them like $600+ million. And now, recently, can you explain this whole $5,000 thing?
Yeah, it's so on September 3rd there was a ruling.
And can I just say that's a hell of a transition.
We did,
He's
you know what I mean?
like-
You know what I mean?
he's
After
like,
6 years, we
I
do
need
this
to
a
know-
little
I
bit.
need to know about this money thing. Like,
Because a lot of guys are hitting me up and saying it's either Renzel or Joker. Renzel, he puts up the videos, gets pop culture going, but you're actually doing the work behind the scenes, so it goes hand in hand. Guys are asking me, how can we get this $5,000?
Well, so September 3rd, there was a ruling decision by Superior Court Justice that said that the SPVM, the City of Montreal, that there's systemic racial profiling within the city and within the force.
Right.
And the judge granted between $2,500 and $5,000 per person, per individual, that can prove that they were racially profiled during 2017 and 2019, I think.
Yes.
Between those specific dates. So
2019 was a wild year. A lot of guys are getting pulled. Snake is like, a lot of guys are getting pulled over.
and what's your opinion on that ruling? Like your personal
well, it's great.
perspective?
I mean, it's a first of its kind, of course, where there's going to be some cash that's going to be handed out. It's going to hurt the city. They don't have insurance for it, so at the same time, it's coming out of our tax dollar. But at the same time, it's about due. It's about time. We had the 2021-2022 Yergeau decision, Article 636, and then now, almost 2 years later, Justice Poulain for $170 million. Like, that's sending a clear message. Like we're moving forward in the right direction. Yesterday, the city appealed part of it. They don't agree.
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
No, it was like 4 or 5 p.m.
Say
yesterday.
more. Please say more.
So there's a portion in there where it says if there's any money left over, that it goes to le Fonds des, I don't know, activités, quelque chose à Québec, là, where, and then of course, lawyers. So the lawyers that have handled the case through the Ligue des Noirs, they would be getting the leftover money. So if only 500 people showed up, not like the 40,000 that they think is the number that people are going to get. That's how they got to the $170 million. Damn. So Plante, our lovely mayor, wants to appeal that portion.
The part
but
of
they,
the lawyers.
Well, the lawyers and the fact that it wants
it
to
a black
go to
law firm?
Quebec.
Is it a black law firm?
For the city of Montreal?
No, the one that's gonna get the extra money if ever the extra.
Yes.
It's a black law firm?
Yeah, black
Then I agree.
lawyers. Yeah, there's
Then I
black
agree.
lawyers. The only part where they're saying is that, and Gracia, the mayor of NDG, said, we don't want it going to a fund in Quebec because the very government, the CAC, doesn't believe in systemic racism.
That was going to be my next question.
So
I swear.
I'm on a borderline with that. Of course, there's a lot of work, as you know.
What do you think it should go? Where do you think it should go?
Well, no, it should go. It shouldn't go to all. It should be spread out between frontline workers, organizations that are helping to curb the issue here. Lawyers, of course.
What about the mental health of all those black men that get harassed continually by police?
It's
what
crazy.
about creating a fund for them to go see psychologists if they need to?
I
Maybe
agree.
even take a vacation if they need to.
1000%.
I'm all for these organizations,
Yeah.
but black men have been suffering in the
For
street,
years.
and then nobody's talking about their mental health.
Yeah.
White people have the right to have mental illness, but
Yeah.
we're never considered in being harassed by the only people that carry guns in this city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing the city is saying is that they don't want it to go to, and that's a big thing for us. The fact that the government doesn't believe that there's systemic racism. I mean, fuck, they got to be living under a rock not to think that. Like it's
The ruling,
it's crazy.
The ruling has to do with racial profiling,
Right. But-
and also tied into anti-black racism,
Right.
right? So just at that very fact, that's systemic racism.
Well, absolutely. The
You
two
know
go
what I mean?
hand in hand. It's
So
like a
I
dog
find-
and a bone.
I find it
Well,
like
you think it's when they say they don't want it to go in this Quebec fund, you think it's
They wanted to
strategy
get it
or
into
it's
the Montreal fund because they believe in systemic racism.
But
That
this-
was what
but
Gracia
this
was
fund
saying
is gonna
today.
do what exactly?
It's to help victims, but it's called fonction or action des victimes or something like that. So they're basically lumping all of victims, not necessarily black or racialized people, into
Oh,
the
la
group.
CAV action?
Something like that. Something to do in Quebec City. I forget. I have to look it up.
I
But
mean,
No,
yes,
these guys
we
always
should be
create-
looking into
these
that.
guys
We
always
should be
doing all
looking
kind
into
of-
that.
But
Yeah.
let's talk about your experience though, if you don't mind. Right?
This week?
Well, I mean, like you were just saying you were traveling, and I'm trying. We're trying to bridge the gap between what he's talking about and also you know, and your experiences, especially with comedy and advocating against anti-black racism, right? So, how do you feel when it comes to instances like this and the backlash that you often get, also?
I want to talk about mental health because I mean, I'm autistic. It's something most people don't know, but it's also something because I was raised by black parents. They've raised me to be able to cover that
And to
or
force you to be
act
overly functional.
normal,
Yeah.
right? But the fact remains, when a police officer comes and wants to restrain my body, it doesn't mean the same as it does to my other black friends, although as unfair as it may be, it's just different, right? So I was stopped not too long ago, and I was just right next to my house, and the guy, I was on my scooter, so I got a scooter right there,
Yeah.
and the guy says, from this car, you know I could give you a ticket for that, right? And I looked at him, and it just my shoulders, like, I didn't say anything. Then he says, again, you know I could give you a ticket for that, and I do the same thing. But for me, mornings are like, as an autistic person, like I have to put my face on. Like I have to put my how people can feel welcome, and as a black man, people see me as a threat. Anyways, I have to put my face. I don't feel like it, and this man started to want to be violent with me because I haven't said a word. Do you understand what we live in right now?
Yeah, no. That's
So
awesome.
it took me a day and a half. Actually, took me a month to talk about it to anyone, because the experience was way more than just that. But this all happened because I didn't say anything. You understand? Every time they've said you've seen someone on social media say, well, why didn't you just do what he said to do? Why didn't you just give your papers? Why didn't you?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Beyond the fact that we have a right, because a lot of times when people have those arguments, they're saying it as if we were just leaving a bank heist.
Yeah.
We got a gun in the hand and a bag in the other, and we're like, you're asking for my papers because you're racist, man. You're racist, man. That's why you asked for my papers.
Like you're doing
You
things.
know what I'm saying?
You was already looking guilty, right?
Right.
But I want to ask you guys at some point, right? they keep talking about reform and things like, we're still trying to fight this. I'm talking about the SPVM. That's the whole rhetoric, right? We're still fighting this. We're still trying to come back at this. We understand that there is racism within our organization, SPVM, but we are combating it. But at one point, you got to ask yourself as a black person, right? How bad is it for you? How hard is it for someone to not be, prejudicial against somebody else? Like, how bad is like how hard is it for someone to change their attitudes? If the police in our city is racist, right? Like, if you don't like black people, you shouldn't be a police officer. There's certain jobs in the world where you just can't be bad at.
Yeah.
Police officers, doctors, ambulance. There's certain jobs you just cannot be bad at. And I think the issue with our police in our city and the police, a lot of police around the world, towards black people, is the fact that it's an attitude thing.
Not even that. Like, the infrastructure of police itself was created like for to
Slave catchers.
yeah, exactly, to the
That
for
Jim Crow.
indigenous people here,
Yeah.
and then for the enslaved in the United States. So at its core, it has those undertones. You know what I mean?
So last, I want to ask you guys, what solution would you guys give? I know you have. I know. What solution would you guys give to SPM for us to change this thing? Because this has become like a really annoying conversation to keep having. We keep getting pulled over. Like, I don't know about you guys. I'm still stuck on the black guy that got killed in jail and they put the smoke thing on his head. Like, I'm still perturbed by that. That is a horrible thing to have happen. And to not have no grave consequence to that is a little bit weird in the city. But I want to ask you guys as we close out this segment, what improvement would you guys give, or what recommendation would you guys give to the SPVM to kind of curb this attitude of racism and prejudicial behavior towards minorities and black people?
Well, it's not. I mean, it starts at the top, right? So what we talked about a few minutes ago with regards to systemic racism. So it starts with the government. Then obviously the person in charge of the police is the Minister of Public Security.
Right.
So he's part of the CAC. And the CAC does not believe in systemic racism. Systemic racism goes hand in hand with racial profiling. So if you got the top,
Let's be clear. They believe in racism, just not
all
systemic.
forms of racism, but not systemic racism, right? So if you have, like, we're all followers, you follow monkey see, monkey do, right? So you've got the Minister of Public Security not believing it because his boss, Mr. Lagos, don't believe in it, right? So now how can he convey the proper method to all 31 police chiefs in the province of Quebec? He cannot, okay? So it starts at the top. So if the government recognizes, rolls over and says, okay, fine, there is systemic racism. I'm just stupid thinking that we're the only province, city in all of North America, essentially the world, that doesn't believe in systemic racism. I mean, let's be honest
It's
here.
wild.
Okay, it's crazy. But what's even crazier is what he's doing right now with Bill 96. He's doing all these changes to create systemic change.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. So he's doing exactly what we're trying to say exists for racism here in this province. So he's trying to fix all this. So back to your question, we need to start by fixing at the top, fixing inside. So none of this status quo, pushing the papers, let's create policies here to do this. No, everybody that's involved, they either got to get out or literally shape up. Like, enough is enough. Okay. Like we asked for the creation of an anti-racism act or anti-discrimination act, because there isn't. There's no budget for discrimination in Quebec. There's nothing. It's a free-for-all. 2019, they said, we're going to give $900,000 over the course of 4 years to combat racial profiling. If you do the math, it works out to, I think, $2.20 per officer to get trained on how to handle racial profiling. Give me a fucking break. So it's not gonna change. So we need systemic changes. All the craziness that he's doing with Bill 96 to make us be like robots is what needs to happen to tackle racial profiling.
Listen, man, I love when Joel's on the show.
I have an unpopular solution, but I'll let you go first.
Ask the question, please.
Yeah.
What's the question again?
No, it's just a solution.
I have an unpopular solution.
Unpopular.
I had a lot of questions
no,
for you guys, but we don't have enough time.
It's an unpopular solution. I think we should invest in voodoo.
Yo, why are you so Haitian? Why you so Haitian?
No, I feel like at this point, mental warfare is the only way
And
we win.
spiritual warfare.
It's this. No, I mean we know about that part. They don't care. We know what part goes into that part.
No.
They don't care. But when they start thinking, when they look in the mirror, shit, my whole shit looks different. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I want to play with their minds because the thing is, sometimes when people are fucked up with me, I'm like, do you know I'm Haitian? Like, like you should know better. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like people I think we should invest in voodoo. But in a more serious note,
Yes.
I'll say it more seriously. Accountability is something like the problem we have in Quebec is it's the same problem everywhere.
Right.
So I like to tell to people, when I was young, we didn't have to wear a seatbelt in the back. And they just started to have people wear a seatbelt in the front. They've been spending millions of dollars a year in communicating for people to educate themselves in their own security, for their
Right.
own welfare. When they start taking racism that seriously, maybe change will happen. I'm here on the internet doing the best I can do, and I mostly talk to people who are interested in what I have to say.
Right.
I'm not going to change people when the government decides it's going to change people's minds, it forces you to. It has enough money and power to change people's minds. I'm 45 years old. I wish in one of those years that any of those governments had decided to do, just say, you know what, let's invest in changing people's minds. They had to invest in advertising to change people's habits to save their own lives. So how much money do you think they need to invest in for them to change how they feel about people they don't even care about?
So the country.
Rightfully so. Want to hear my unpopular solution?
Listen, you're gonna give it anyway.
Okay. I think the problem is that we are in this system and we keep going to the system and thinking the system is going to help us. Like what? I think instead there should be organization of strong people within the community, and they get their license to be security guards, so they have the right to carry also. But they're also trained into mental health support, trauma-informed care.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay. This
How
is
to
real. This
intervene.
is real.
This is
Okay,
real.
this is
So
real.
when they're in
I thought you wanted the
instances-
police. Okay.
No. This is our own thing. So that when someone from the community is in a situation with police where they feel uncomfortable, they could also call that organization. So they show up as middlemen to intervene, licensed to carry, but also trained in trauma-informed care, right? So know how to communicate in nonviolent ways. You understand? But just in case
That's a good
things go
idea.
another way, you have a thing. Yeah, because we have to stop asking this government for help. Why is it that someone said this to me today. Sorry, Tamara doing a thing.
Yeah.
Someone said this to me this week, actually. Why are we fighting to invest in things just like carnival and stuff? Why don't we invest in things where we could buy land and create our own community centers, Caribbean old folks home? Our seniors and our elders are in these institutions with people that don't look like them, with food that they don't eat. Some of them are going senile and they're not even remembering what I don't eat this stuff, right? But that's what I think we should do. But anyways, back to.
So you think in order to fix violence from police, we need to build
Have our own protection.
Old folks home.
You see, there's things with the Black Panthers that was working, right?
Yes.
For the community, really creating working towards institutional
I actually agree
completeness.
with you.
You know
but
what I mean?
agree with you. It's idealistic, because in the world we live in, we couldn't have our people that carry guns.
Yeah. They're gonna shoot them right away.
You
They're
know
gonna
what?
shoot them right
You
away.
know what? Okay.
I listen. I'm
to
someone
crush
that
my dream.
Listen,
No.
no.
But your dream is-
It's not
It's
even
either that
honestly,
or we hit
it's
them
not
where
a
their
dream.
pockets are. It's either that or everyone stops working,
You need
stops
to hit them
spending
on
their
all
money
fronts.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
All fronts, so that they can't stop the flow of they're getting hit from the back, the front, the top, the bottom, all the time, every day. Just like I said, these two rulings that's hitting $170 million is a lot of fucking money.
A lot of money.
Okay,
Yo,
so
Joel you've never sworn like this on the show before.
I know.
Like,
He swore.
I know.
I'm mad.
No,
I'm counting.
you can
I'm
swear
counting.
on radio now. But let me.
swore.
I want to take
yeah, but it's
something, man.
taped, so it's not live. It's
Anyways, you guys are gonna be back on the show again. You guys come all the time. I want to appreciate you guys coming on our anniversary special.
Yeah.
We got deep about the politics about police, that and her utopian ideology. But, we'll play some more music when we come back. More fives, the more Detour on the Mighty CKT.